Today, Aunt Moo is going to show you how to process Simathcus grapes. These are Simathcus grapes. The big green ones like this, see? Today we're going to make Simathcus grape wine with cream soda. You can use any brand of cream soda you like. For the syrup, I'm using Sunny Boy's concentrated syrup. Cream soda flavor, you can use Hebble Boy or any other brand as well. Today we're using 1 kilogram of Simathcus grapes. 1 bottle of cream soda syrup. 1 kilogram of white granulated sugar. First, we're going to clean the grapes thoroughly. Then Aunt Moo will show you how to prepare the grape flesh. I'll be back to update you soon. Here we have 1 kilogram of Simathcus grapes, which fills a big bowl like this, friends. I've cut them into pieces like this, see? For grape wine, we won't use a blender. Instead, we'll use this grape crusher right here. We're going to do it like this, watch, friends. Just a quick press and the grapes burst open, see? It's really easy and clean too, since our hands don't actually touch the grapes. I'll finish crushing all the grapes in this bowl first, and then we'll move on to the next step. Next, we'll use 1 liter of water and bring it to a boil just. Pour it into the pot. You can use high heat for this step. Now that the water is hot, we'll pour the grapes in. These are the grapes we've already crushed to 1 kilogram, which is quite a lot, as you can see. Just pour them in. We're using 1 kilogram of these Simathcus green grapes. After adding the grapes, add 1 kilogram of granulated sugar. We're using white granulated sugar just for it in. We want the wine to have a beautiful color, so we're using white sugar. If you use brown sugar, the color will be darker. After pouring in the sugar, stir it in, everyone. Stir until the sugar dissolves first. We won't boil the grapes for long. Keep stirring until the sugar is completely dissolved. You'll notice the liquid becomes clearer. Once you see that the sugar has dissolved, turn off the stove right away. You can turn off the stove now. Today, Aunt Moo has already turned off the stove. At this stage, we'll pour in 1 bottle of Sunny Boy Kim soda syrup. Use the whole bottle. Just pour it all in. Next, we'll add the remaining 4 liters of water. We'll use only drinking water for this. Just pour it all in. Stir the mixture until it's well combined. At this stage, we're going to activate the yeast. You'll need to scoop out some water and put it in a separate bowl. We won't activate the yeast directly in the big basin. Use 1 teaspoon of yeast, using a spoon like this. Pour the yeast into the bowl with the water you set aside and stir the mixture. Stir so that the yeast is evenly distributed throughout the water. Now we'll let the yeast activate for a while. In the meantime, we'll pour the water into the fermentation container. For this recipe, a 6-liter gallon isn't big enough, so we'll use a drinking water bottle instead. But you don't need to screw the cap on tightly, just place it loosely on top like this. Find a stable spot to set it down so everything stays together like this, otherwise it could explode. Now our yeast has risen nicely like this. When it looks like this, it means it's ready to use. We'll pour it into the small fermentation container, dividing it into the drinking water bottles, about 2 to 3 spoonfuls each. Just pour it right in. The rest, we'll pour all of it into the main container. Go ahead and pour it all in. Once we've poured it in, make sure to tightly close the lid, everyone. Seal the lid well and then shake the container. Shaking the container helps increase the oxygen inside, okay? Once that's done, we loosen the lid halfway. If you're using a bottle, it's the same. Close the lid tightly first. Shake it. Then loosen the lid. Watch closely, friends. Just loosen it like this so it's not tight. Just resting on top. After loosening the lid, don't forget to put a sticker on it to note what we're fermenting grape wine, Simathcus cream soda, and the date, November 29th. Next, that Moo will ferment it at a certain temperature. It will take about 2 weeks. Friends, I'll come back to update you on how the Simathcus cream soda grape wine turns out after fermenting for 2 weeks. Let's see how much alcohol develops. Please stay tuned. Today, Aunt Moo is here to give you an update on the Simathcus cream soda grape wine. We've been fermenting it for 2 weeks now. Friends, are full 15 days. Dad Moo is satisfied with the taste. So now we're going to strain it and separate the yeast. Just pour it through a strainer. Now we've finished filtering out the sediment. This leftover pulp, we don't use it, so you can just throw it away. Today, I'll show you how to adjust the taste of wine that has become bitter and astringent. If you fermented it for 10 or 12 days, and after tasting, you're satisfied with the flavor, you can go ahead and stop the fermentation right there. But if you want a higher alcohol content, you can let it ferment for 14 or 15 days. However, after 10 to 15 days, there won't be any sweetness left at all. You'll get more bitterness and astringency, but the alcohol content will be quite good. But we can fix the taste, the bitterness, the astringency by adding granulated sugar. Pork will add white granulated sugar, about 30 to 50 grams, not more than this. 30 to 50, how much do you want? We will taste our wine first to see how bitter it is. If it is not very bitter, just a little, add 30 grams. But if it is very bitter, so bitter that you can't eat it, add 50 grams. We will pour it in at this step. Turn on the stove, pour the granulated sugar in, and you need to stir it quickly, otherwise the sugar will stick to the bottom of the pot. Here we're going to stop the yeast at only 40 degrees heat. A thermometer is very important. For anyone making wine, when you use the thermometer, you should also stir the wine to let the heat rise, because the thermometer measures temperature using infrared. Right now it's 36.2 degrees C. We'll keep measuring until it reaches 40 degrees. The temperature will gradually rise. Now we've measured 40.2 degrees C, so you can turn off the stove. Now we have turned off the stove. We will let it cool down to room temperature before pouring it into the aging tank. We will not pour it while the wine is still high temperature or just warm. When pouring it into the tank, steam will form on the tank. Friends, the oil will make a white cloud. When we age the wine, it will smell rotten. We must let it cool down completely before pouring it into age. Aunt Moo will let it cool down to room temperature and will update in the next step. Now we let it cool down until the Symphony grape wine is at temperature. Now that it's ready, we can go ahead and pour it into the fermentation tank. Now we've already poured the wine into the fermentation tank. Aunt Moo will teach everyone about yeast in 2 steps, starting with adding a stabilizing agent. The official name is potassium metabisulfite. We'll add it to the tank. Aunt Moo's recipe uses a 6-liter tank. We'll add 2 spoons directly into the tank because this dissolves quite easily. Here it is on spoon. Put it right in. 2 spoons, just add them like this because this substance dissolves quite easily. You can use water as the solvent. Once that's done, friends, close the lid of the tank tightly like this. During the fermentation stage, you can seal it completely. After fermenting for 2 nights, you need to check the tank. Press down like this to see if it pops or sinks in. You can continue fermenting, friends, but if the tank is swollen and you can't press it down, just loosen the lid a little to let the air inside escape. Then you can keep fermenting because the pork will be fermented at room temperature for about 7 to 10 days. Let's see what happens next. After fermenting the Simathcus cream soda grape wine for 7 to 10 days, let's see how beautiful the color turns out and how much we like the taste. Please stay tuned, everyone. Today, Aunt Moo will give you an update on the Simathcus cream soda grape. The wine has been fermenting at room temperature for 7 days now. Our side wine is already quite clear and beautiful, but it will become even clearer. Soon, I'll show you how to bottle the wine by adding potassium sorbate. Potassium sorbate comes in small stick-like granules, kind of like sugarcane pieces. This will inhibit the growth of yeast. Basically, it helps prevent the wine from fermenting again, because if the yeast becomes active again, it will start fermenting again, friends, and the wine will become fizzy. If the yeast becomes active again, the bottle could even explode. So we'll add potassium sorbate to the bottle. For bottles of 300 to 500 ml, we'll use 1 teaspoon. For bottles of 700 to 1000 ml, we'll add 2 teaspoons of sorbate. This is very easy to use. Just scoop out 1 teaspoon like this and put it directly into the bottle. This substance dissolves quite easily, so you can pour the wine into the bottle right away. Watch closely. Friends, when you lift the container gently like this, the sediment won't get mixed in. So now we have clear liquid. After pouring the wine into the bottle, make sure to seal the bottle tightly and label it with a sticker indicating what kind of wine it is, like Simathcus grape wine, Team Suda. We just leave it at room temperature for a long period after bottling. Friends, we'll check to see how clear our wine becomes. In about 7 to 10 days, it will start to clear up. This one here has been sitting for a month or 2 already, and you can see it's at clarity level 4. Can you see it, friends? We can go ahead and transfer the wine to another bottle now. But before the sediment settles at the bottom, there's actually very little of it. Can you see that, friends? I haven't even transferred this one yet. This is still just the first round after pouring it out from the tank. It's only the first round. Once we see that the wine is crystal clear like this, you can transfer it to another bottle for the second round. The wine will become even clearer, and there won't be any sediment left at the bottom of the bottle because it's already had a long time for the sediment to settle, especially with this type of wine. For green, red, pink, or similar colored wines, I recommend that you store the wine in opaque bottles like this. Opaque bottles like these help protect the color of the wine, preventing it from fading or becoming duller than when we first made it. If you pay attention, you notice that when you go to the department store, most of the wines for sale are in opaque bottles, like these green, blue, red, and so on. These are called opaque bottles, and they help preserve the wine. They also help preserve the color and flavor well, which is important for long-term wine storage. So today, we're going to taste and see just how much we like the flavor of this green cream Simathcus grape wine. Take a look, everyone. Doesn't it look tempting? I'm going to give it a try now. Wow. I'm worried you all will find this too delicious. Green Shine Muscat grapes are already tasty on their own. Even eating them plain, they're delicious. Shine Muscat grapes have their own unique fragrance. I also use syrup and soda as part of the wine marinade, and it really comes together nicely. When you taste the wine, you get this wonderful aroma from both the grapes and the soda blending perfectly. For those of you watching Aunt Moo's video, I hope you enjoy it and find it useful. If you enjoyed it, please give Aunt Moo a like to show your support. Share it widely so that other members can also learn the correct way to make wine. That's all from Megabuy to all my fans, both abroad and in Thailand. Take care of your health, everyone. That's all for this video. Until we meet again, goodbye.